I'm Sarah Concannon, the change manager here at RPI. And I'm here at this beautiful fake beach today to talk to you about what makes change management one of the key elements you'll want to consider when preparing for the move to Cloud Suite. It might be a little bit less obvious than some of the other considerations that Lee and Keith are going to be going over with you today, but it's actually really important. So let's talk about why. Why is change management important to an ERP project? I mean, isn't this really about technology, not people? But the real question to ask yourself is how much of the success or the ROI for this project is dependent upon people changing? Or for our specific purposes, how much is it dependent upon people engaging, adopting, and using the new system as designed and intended? We like to give the example of a low people dependent ROI initiative as something like installing motion activated lights in a conference room. If someone isn't there or nobody moves in the room for 10 minutes and the lights go off, you save money. Awesome. On the other end of the spectrum, you have something like instituting an office recycling program where you're installing bins alongside the trash barrel, and you need people to change their behavior. Otherwise, there's really no point in instituting a recycling program if everyone's going to continue to throw everything into the trash. So think for a minute about where a Cloud Suite project with all its different facets really sits on that scale. At the end of the day, all organizational change is made up of individuals who are making changes and hopefully doing it together. So really everything comes down to that individual level in order to make up a successful organizational change. If some folks aren't able to successfully navigate through all the elements of transition by go live or at all, then what you have is an incomplete future state. And if your future state is incomplete, so is your ROI, and nobody wants that. The good news is that the first two elements of change, awareness and desire, are things that you can get a jump on ahead of time. Cloud Suite is going to deliver awesome new functionality and benefits that it's worth getting excited about. You'll uncover even more of them once you get into the design phase, but there is plenty of delivered value that you should be aware of up front and that you can be socializing before the project officially gets going. Messages about the purpose of this change and what it's going to help the organization achieve. Just a few weeks ago, we had the opportunity to go on site with a healthcare client and do some value proposition brainstorming at the departmental level with the functional work streams. And it was so helpful to ground the project work that they're in the thick of doing in the knowledge of all the gains and the pain relief that Cloud Suite is going to provide to them in their future state. That simple act of documenting these value propositions can be really powerful, and it gives department managers and leaders something concrete to touch back to in their conversations about the project. And that is crucial because people don't like change. New and unfamiliar things are scary. Evolutionarily, there is a reason that we feel that way, but it's not particularly helpful as an instinct for projects that involve a transition. And beyond that, these projects usually involve asking more of people who may already feel like they're near or over their limit. And that brings me to my other recommendation for you today, which is to start thinking about who the key members of your change network are going to be for the project and how you can make sure that they're going to be engaged and supported. Start with the sponsor. Maybe in this case, that's going to be you, person watching right now. Either way, think about all the other demands on the sponsor's time and attention that they are likely to be juggling alongside this project. Think about their overall bandwidth, their personal level of change saturation, and anything else that might impact the effectiveness of their sponsorship. Next, think of all the other people that you can rally around the sponsor to provide different kinds and levels of support throughout the project. This is your sponsor coalition, and it's really going to reinforce and strengthen your project leadership, which is so impactful for good change management. So those are my 2 pointers for you today. Thank you very much to Lee and Keith for letting me jump in here to shine a light on some of the reasons that change management is really an investment in your own success, and looking at some of the things that you can incorporate into your preparation activities for your move to Cloud Suite.